Hey guys, today we are here with my dear friend Melody Brandon.
Hello.
Melody is owner of Sweet Saucy Shop, and she also runs the awesome Instagram account Life on Loma that features things like cooking, her kids, her oils, fun baking, and healthy cooking tips. So today we are at her house.
Yeah, we're super excited. We haven't seen each other in like over a year and a half, so
No,
this is
too
a fun
long.
morning.
We are going to be making...
They're cookie dough balls, but they're the healthy version. So it's with chickpeas, peanut butter, honey, so no refined sugar, vegan chocolate chips. You can do regular if you want, but literally they're gluten-free vegan dough balls. They're protein packed. You can dip them in chocolate and add sea salt if you want them to look like a truffle and have them for a party with friends and stuff. But they're super simple. Everything's in a food processor, only a couple ingredients. So yeah, so we're gonna
get started. And we've got kids and chaos.
Yes,
That's life.
that is life, always.
Yeah.
Since she was little, my favorite thing to do is bake with her. As many people say, baking with kids is crazy, or cooking. And so this is a great recipe to do with kids. Of course, you don't want to put their hands in the blade. But besides that, it's only a couple ingredients. It comes together quickly and they can taste test along the way. Or at least my kids do. So Blake is gonna dump in. These are the chickpeas. So I'll give the recipe to Ashlyn to put on her vlog too. So here you go, Blake. Let's put the chickpeas in. So it's the same thing as garbanzo beans, chickpeas, the same thing. So you just get a can. You're gonna rinse it with water and then dump it out a couple times so it doesn't have the liquid in it. So we're just gonna put the chickpeas in. Then we have peanut butter. I like a smooth peanut butter. I use organic. So they have like the cheap one from Whole Foods or Target is great. But you want the creamy kind. And it doesn't matter if it has salt or not salt. So Blake will hold that up. We'll scoop that peanut butter in.
Yum. Such a good helper, Miss Blake.
The ingredient is going to be our honey. So we have 1/4 cup of honey.
Ooh,
We're not going to taste everything, right?
Right.
We're going to taste a little stuff, but not a lot.
Yeah, a little stuff, but not a lot of stuff. Okay. Our last thing is vanilla extract. So we're gonna do
Now what kind of vanilla is that? That looks good.
This is my jumbo bottle.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna butcher the name, but Nice and Macy. I stole it from bakery, of course. But you can get this at other stores. You want to make sure you have a high quality vanilla extract. It really makes a difference. Oh yes, Ashlyn bakes nonstop too. So
We always wish we lived next door to each other so we could swap baked goods, but then I don't think that'd be good for our waistline.
maybe we can do healthy recipes. Okay. So those are all the ingredients that are gonna go in the food processor. So we're literally just gonna put the lid on and then we're gonna pulse it for a little bit. You want it to get really creamy. You're not gonna taste the chickpeas at all. So we'll let it go and then we'll stir the sides to make sure it gets all incorporated. A little grainy, so that means you definitely want to keep mixing it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna add salt on top as well of when we dip them in chocolate. And that kind of salt we'll use like the coarse salt, because you don't want fine, you want a little like a bite of salt when you really take it. So that's the coarse granule ones. For me is, you can have parchment or a silk hat, but you want something flat that you can scoop the dough balls onto. Now you can see it's a more smooth consistency. It still looks, of course, on top a little grainy, but it's smoother. And then we're literally just gonna add our chocolate chips. So this is the Enjoy Life brand. It's the mini size. It's dairy, nut, and soy free. So, all right, so we're gonna add, Blake licked my spoon, so we'll grab another one. Blake, Cookie Monster.
So it gets nice and chocolatey.
So it gets nice and chocolatey.
My
And as you
favorite
can
part.
tell, it totally looks like cookie dough.
Yeah.
So, and it's the raw kind that you can eat. So that's amazing. It might be easier to pull it all into a bowl at this point because the food processor has a hole in it, but you know.
Why dirty another dish?
Exactly. That's what I thought, Ashlyn. So we're just gonna go for it.
That looks delicious.
I'm going to eat the spoon almost.
You
Almost. So then we'll take our cookie dough ball scoop, and you can do it as big or as small as you want.
Can I try to do it?
Yeah, wait 1 second. And then at this point, you see if you just grab it with your hands and sort of get all over them, that's why I like doing this. And then we're just going to put them out in a row and either freeze it or refrigerate it until it's firm.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then we'll roll it with our hands.
Okay, good idea.
Good job.
Cooking with kids is always adds a whole new element of fun.
Yes, it does.
But you're always so good at that. You always, I feel like, incorporate her with all your baking. How do you have the patience for that?
It's one of my passions, so I definitely wanted to see if I could make it her passion too. Do it when I'm super busy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna maybe invite her to do that, or I'll give her one project and I'll do the rest. But I mean, at this stage, she's pretty capable, and she's been doing it with me for about, since she was probably 1.5, 2. I gave her little things to do, at least pour.
Yeah.
But yeah, she loves it now. She loves figuring out food, what food's good for her body, which I think is super important for kids.
Totally.
She can have delicious food that tastes amazing and is healthy for you, and that's sort of what I want to teach her that she can do.
Awesome.
I'm just rolling them into a ball. You can see I like the smaller sizes. Blake scoops them a little bit bigger, so you can have whatever size you want. At this point, if it was kids, I'd literally put them in just like a glass Tupperware and stick them in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Or you can even freeze them, put them in a freezer bag, and they defrost great. But yeah, you can literally just eat them like this. They're amazing, as you can see, full of chocolate chips and super yummy. And you don't taste the chickpea at all.
I got Florence here. She's being a little fussy trying to film here.
I melted the chocolate in a little pan, very low heat, and then stirring constantly, otherwise your chocolate will burn. You're gonna take your cookie dough ball, you're literally just gonna drop it in here, and you're just gonna fish it around with the chocolate. Just tap it off like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I literally just take my fingers. You're not gonna see the finger marks too bad, and you're just literally gonna put it right there. Then before it sets up, you wanna give it to a second to set up a little bit. Once it sets up a little bit, I'm just gonna take my coarse salt and put it on top.
Yeah.
But I'll dip one more and then I'll chat.
Okay.
Okay, let's do one more. So again, you just wanna get the chocolate all the way on top. Pick it up, tap it. Make sure you get all that. Otherwise,
It's smart with a fork. I would never thought of that, but drizzles the chocolate underneath.
exactly. They have like the tools for chocolate dipping that are even less prongs, but I mean, a fork works great.
Sorry, Florence is going
Sorry,
crazy.
Florence. It gets a little bit more matte. Before it dries all the way, I'm just gonna put about that much of the sea salt on top, and it makes a big difference. So these will just chill back in your refrigerator, and then you can eat them.
Yeah. So here we are making a video. Kids running crazy outside. We've got Florence here. So one of the things I just love and admire about Melody, she just inspires me. She is a killer stay-at-home mom, but she also runs a very successful business. If you guys haven't seen or heard of My Sweet and Saucy, you're probably living in the dark age. And she just is so vibrant with life, and I just find that so inspiring, and that's why I wanted to have her just share with us today. But I just wanted you to share, like, how do you kind of keep it all together? How do you run a successful business, be an awesome stay-at-home mom?
I literally take my babies with me into the bakery in an ergo every single day when I first have them. How do I do it all? And I'm completely honest that there's always compromise and you can't do it all. Some people put out, you know, maybe the myth that they can do it all, but they're definitely sacrificing in one way or another. I try to make my situation work for me, but of course along the way, I found it very hard many times. I probably had more mental breakdowns than any of my friends have had. I knew the things that were super important to me and that I didn't want to compromise on, which was I wanted to be around my kids a lot. In the beginning, I always brought them into the bakery with me. We had a whole room for them. And so 2 months old, I'm bringing her into my shop, breastfeeding her as I'm ringing up people, which I wouldn't recommend. And my husband was horrified and never would step foot in my store because I did that. But, you know, I was just trying to survive as a mom, and I never wanted to be away from her, and I just had that was just me as a person. I just made it work. She was in the swing. I had to prep all the desserts myself, and it was very hard. I think I probably cried every single day for a month straight, but I just did it. And so I think that's the one thing about a mom. We all know we just have to do it sometimes. Staying home with kids is so hard, you know. Work is actually a lot of times easier. Now when I combine the two together, it's very, very hard because a lot of times I'm working from home and, you know, trying to be that stay-at-home mom and getting to enjoy everything and do all the things that I want to do. But then I always constantly have work, you know, whether it be emails, phone calls, you know, text messages nonstop. And because I choose not to go into work every single day, then I know that I have to be present in my business in other ways. And those are hard, but that's just my choice. So right now I go in 2 days a week, 5 hours a day, and I do have a babysitter. So I decided that's okay in my head, right? You know, I had to take baby steps. So my husband, you know, helps a lot. You know, I think family is really important, or a good support system. My business is a bakery, so I used to do all the cakes myself. I baked everything, did everything from scratch, did never let anyone work on a cake, and slowly but surely, you know, I had to grow. Now we have 40 employees. So now I never work on cakes except if they really need help, which, you know, has sort of killed a part of my soul, but I've had to figure out other ways that are my passions. So maybe now my passions are different things, you know, whether it be my kids' health or healthy eating and cooking at home. So I don't do cakes anymore inside the shop because I don't have time and I don't want to take that time away from my kids. But I try to incorporate my passion in other ways.
That's awesome.
Like coming like this.
And I feel like that's what we're all
trying
to do is survive and get by. But also I think it is important to continue with what your passion and giftings are because otherwise we'll go crazy. We need that outlet, that little mental, you know, not break, but almost boost of energy.
In each season, I can always be unhappy, and the next season will totally change. And the one thing we can expect about life is it will change. If you're in a good season, it's gonna change. If you're in a bad season, it's gonna change. And so to constantly think like, well, how can I be content in the season the best way possible? And I have not mastered it by far, but I'm trying to slowly but surely master that and say like, even if the circumstance is really hard and trying, how can I be content? And then maybe what are the ways that I do need to change, you know what I mean? And make those hard decisions where it's like, you know, I really want this in my life right now, but I have to sacrifice it and I can't do that. And to make that decision, or I really want something to change in my life, so I'm gonna put a lot of effort into making that change, and it might be really hard that period, but you will make the change and then you have something to look forward to that's a change. So I'm definitely picking those kind of things, me and my husband. What are our goals? You know, what do we really want as a family? And then we are making legitimate changes to incorporate that, you know?
Well, thank you so much for having us today.
Yes.
It was so fun to see you. I'm gonna give one of these a try. Which one should we
I
take?
think that one's a little bit set up. I would
one?
refrigerate it a little bit more to get a little bit more snap of the chocolate, but you'll still get main of that.
Wow, really good.
Yes.
Highly recommend the chocolate.
Yes, the chocolate was definitely a game changer on there.
Yum.